Hello everyone. So I want to talk about algebraic expressions or numerical expressions and verbal expressions or word phrase. So when I say word phrase or verbal expressions, that means English, that means the language. So students have to figure out that there are words, there are phrases that express variables or numbers or operations. When I say numerical expressions or algebraic expressions, that means algebra, that means numbers, variables, and operations. So what is a variable? A variable is like a symbol that represents anything that might come to your mind which needs to be calculated. Like for example, my age or the number of people living somewhere. So it's a variable because you don't know it. So like let's say, can you guess my age? If you multiply it by 2, you are gonna get 50. So that means 2x equals 50. So I suppose that my age is x. So x here is the variable. Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about numerical expressions or algebraic expressions and word phrase or verbal expressions. So I will compare between them and convert from verbal expressions to algebraic expressions and the opposite way. So when we go for numerical expressions or algebraic expressions, from the name algebraic expressions, that means algebra, that means there are numbers, variables, and operations. Like plus, minus, variables like x, y, n, k, and operations like plus divided by, times, or subtraction. When I talk about word phrase or verbal expression, that means words or phrases like 3 more than a double of a number. So it's like English. So when it's about English writing and mathematics writing. So the difference between them is one is pure math and one is pure English. But remember, there must be connection between English and mathematics, which is always when I express mathematics in words, like percentage. When I say like 30% of the people failed, that means it's English in words, but it expresses math. So always English and math are related. What is variable? Like a variable is a symbol of an unknown value. Like if I say what is my age, that means it might be x because you don't know it. So variables are letters like x, y, k, t, n, m, any letter that expresses an unknown value, like the time spent between two destinations and the cost of an item in a supermarket. So here is the list of the words that I will use for verbal expressions or word phrase, and I will translate them into mathematics. So in this table, you can see 4 columns. Every column expresses an operation. So the first one expresses addition. So the words that I can use them for verbal expressions or word phrase are plus, added to, the sum of, increased by, more than, greater than. For subtraction, I can use minus, subtracted from, the difference between, decreased by, less than, fewer than, taken from, take away. For multiplication, times, multiplied by, the product, twice, triple, half, quarter, percentage, and fractions. For division, divide, divided by, the quotient, half, percentage, and quarter. So these words came to my mind as verbal expressions, and I will give you examples later. Let me first please mention this table. So always when you see the word is, that means equal sign. That means you have to translate it into an equal sign when you go for algebraic expression. It's the same as same as. So when I say 5 plus 3, instead of saying equals 8, I can say as the same as 8 because it's the same. That means it's equal. Or 5 plus 3 is 8, so which is equal. Square root, you know that sign. Cube root, it's the same as square root, but there is a number 3 above it on the left. The square of or squared, so we just put a number 2 above it on the right, like 3 power 2 or 3 squared or the square of 2. The cube of or cubed, which is power 3, the power to the power of x or to the xth power. Like for example, if I want to say 4 to the power 5, I can say 5th power of 4. So let's start with addition. So on your left there are the word phrases or the verbal expressions, and on your right there are the algebraic expressions or numerical expressions. So here are some examples for you. A number plus 5, that means x plus 5. So a number is x. So a number here represents something that I don't know. It might be your age or my age or the cost of an item. So it might be the time, it might be something that I really don't know. It's a value of something. So whenever I say a number, you need to put x or y or any letter that comes to your mind. 7 added to a number. So added to, that means it's an adjective. So I added 7 to this number. So 7 plus x. Whenever you say 7 plus x or x plus 7, it's the same. The sum of 11 and a number. The sum of means addition. So 11 plus x. A number increased by 1. So the number which is x increased by, so we have already added 1 to it. So x plus 1. 7 more than a number. So more than, that means you need to add, you need to jump up. Imagine that you are on the 5th floor and I say I'm living 7 floors more than you. So you have to add 7. 2 greater than a number. Greater than is exactly as same as more than, so you have to add. Activity time, it's your turn. The sum of a number and 3. 3 increased by a number. 7 more than a number. A number added to 8. For subtraction. So the word phrases are the examples. A number minus 3. Remember for subtraction, because 5 minus 3 is 2. 3 minus 5 is negative 2, so it's not the same. So you need to make sure which number should be written first. A number minus 3, that means that number we subtracted 3 from it. So x minus 3 or n minus 3. 3 decreased by a number. So we have the original number, which is a 3, and we subtract a number from it. So 3 is the original number and we subtracted a number from it. So we took a number from it. So it will be less. So 3 minus n. Be careful, it's not n minus 3, because what we wrote first is 3. So 3 decreased by, leave it as it is. 3 should be written first. Now the next examples will confuse you a little bit, but I want you to focus. 4 subtracted from a number. So the original number is not 4. The original number is the number itself, which is n. But this n was decreased by 3. So we took, decreased by 4. So we took 4 from it. So 4 subtracted from this number. So n minus 4. It's not 4 minus n. So here you need to flip it. The word that I wrote it at the end in algebraic expression should be written first. The difference between a number and 5. Be careful. When you say that, like let's say that I am 1 year older than you, so the difference between our ages is 1. So that doesn't mean your age minus my age is 1. That means the older. So when I say the difference between two things, I have to start with the greater one. After the letter A, so between a number, this number should be written first, which is n. So the difference between a number and 5. So n minus 5, not 5 minus n. So example, another example. The difference between 10 and 7. which one did I say first? 10. So 10 minus 7. It makes sense, doesn't it? So the next one, 12 less than a number. Here when I say less than, you need to flip it. 12 less than a number. The number minus 12, not 12 minus the number. Why? If you get another example, like what's the difference between 3 and 5? That means 3 is 2 less than 5, right? So 3 is 2 less than 5, which is 5 minus 2. It needs to be flipped. Be careful. 5 fewer than, exactly the same as less than. 5 fewer than a number, n minus 5, not 5 minus n. 2 taken from a number, exactly the same as the previous two examples. 2 taken from, so I have already taken 2 from the original number, which is n, so n minus 2. Now the last one, you don't need to flip it because it's not an adjective. 2 take away a number. So you must have studied that in elementary school, like when I say, instead of saying 7 minus 4, I can say 7 take away 4. So you take away from the 7, you take away 4. So 7 is the original. So here, 2 take away a number, so 2 minus n. It's activity time, it's your turn. The difference between a number and 5. 8 decreased by a number. 11 take away a number. A number is taken from 20. The difference between 8 and a number. 11 minus a number. 3 less than a number. For multiplication, the first example is 7 times a number, so 7x, or 7n, or 7t, or 7 dot t. Between a number and a letter, you don't need to put the dot, which is the multiplication. Just say 7x, which is 7 times x. 4 multiplied a number, for n, the product of. Always the word the product of means multiplication, always in mathematics. So the product of a number and 5. Here you can say x times 5, or you say 5 times x, because you will get the same answer. 3 times 5 is 15, 5 times 3 is 15, so no problem. Twice a number, that means double, so 2x. Triple a number, so 3x. Half a number, half x. 1/3 a number, 1 over 3x. Quarter a number, 1 over 4x. Now here, the percentage. When I say 70% off, that means you need to multiply. Always the word off, or the preposition of in English, in math it's multiplication. Like when I say 70% of something, that means I have to multiply this number by 70 over 100. Now fractions. 3/5 a number, so 3 over 5x, or 3 over 5 times n. The last, it's activity time, it's your turn now. 3 times a number, the product of a number and 8. The product of 11 and a number. Half a number, 10% a number, 3/7 a number. The last one is division. So divide a number by 3. That means n divided by 3, not 3 by n, because it makes sense when I say divide this number, which is the original, by 3. So when I say by, that means a slash, which is division. So n divided by 3, so n over 3. 4 divided by a number. Divided by, that means this is an adjective in English. That means also it works as a passive voice. So the number 4, which is original, I divided it by a number, which is x. So 4 divided by x, it's not x divided by 4. The quotient of a number and 5. Here, the word quotient is the opposite of the word product. Product is multiplication, quotient is division. Now, which one should I write first? after the letter A, the quotient of a number, which is x, and 5. So x divided by 5, not 5 by x. Some trick for you. The quotient of a 10 and 2, is it 2 over 10 or 10 over 2? What do you think? Exactly, 10 over 2. Half a number. Here, since I'm talking about division, not multiplication, so when I say half a number, either you multiply the number, which is x, by half, like this example here, or you can divide but by 2, not by half. So when I say half a number, you can divide by 2. What is the half of 16? What is the half of 8? What is the half of 100? So try to answer these questions. Just divide by 2. 10%, only for the number 10. 10%, that means you can divide by 10. That doesn't mean that when I say 20%, you can divide by 20. Be careful. Only for the number 10. When I say 10% of a number, that means x divided by 10. Now it's your turn. What is 10% of 100? 10% of 70? 10% of 50? 10% of 1 million? Try to answer these questions. The last one is the quarter. You have to divide by 4 or multiply by 1 over 4, like here in the multiplication example. Either you multiply by 1 over 4 or you divide by 4. Now it's your turn. What is the quarter of 16? 16 divided by 4 is 4. What is the quarter of 8? What is the quarter of 44? What's the quarter of 64? Try to answer these questions. Now let's make it more complicated. It's activity time. It's your turn now. The quotient of 11 and a number. 11 divided by twice a number. The quotient of 11 and triple a number. The quotient of a number and 2. So when I say twice a number is 10. So twice a number, that means 2x is equal 10. So 2x equals 10. I don't want you to solve the equation. Just write the algebraic expression. A number decreased by 5. So x minus 5, because it's decreased by. I shouldn't flip it. It's already the original number is the number x. A number is decreased by 5. Is as same as 11. As same as means equal. So x minus 5 equals 11. The square root of a number is 5. So the square root of x is 5. The cube root of 13. Cube root of 13 minus a number is 4. Minus is x. Is equal, and 4 is 4. A number squared is as same as half the number. A number squared, remember when I say square, that means power 2. As same as equal. Half the number itself. Half the number itself. I shouldn't, it's okay if I don't write itself because I said the. So I'm talking about the same number. So half x. The last one is a number cubed. So n cubed. I didn't say the cube root, remember. Cubed, not cube root like this. More than, which is plus, 4 is, which is equal, 3. I think algebraic expressions and verbal expressions are very... It's activity time. It's your turn now. 3 times a number less than 11 is 5. 70% of a number subtracted from, be careful, subtracted from 8. The next one, triple a number divided by twice the same number is 11. The cube root of a number added to 6 is as same as twice the number minus 5. Now we will do the opposite. I'm going to give you algebraic expressions and you need to write words. So this is a good exercise for writing in English. The first one, x minus 3. The second one, 2x minus 11 equals 29. 2x over 3 equals 6. X power 3 minus 5 equals 2x minus 3. 3x plus 2 equals 1 over 5 x. Next one, 3 over 7 x minus x power 2 equals 12. Before you go for practice, I suggested you go for all of these. You will find them in the description. And now we have a competition for you. Try to answer these questions, please. So pick up a pen and a paper and please try to answer these questions. So the first one is, the square root of a number increased by 5 is 11. The second one is, half a number multiplied by the same number is 5 more than 2. The next one, 3 more than twice a number is the same as 15. The next one, the quotient of, remember quotient is division, the quotient of a number and 10 is 3 more than the same number. The next one is, let's try to use twice. Twice a number minus 5 is half the same number. Let's try to use the product of a number and 11 is quarter the same number. Now the next one, be careful. 7/8, which is 7 over 8. 7/8 of a number is as same as triple the same number. So now here, if you go to practices, you can go for IXL grades 5, 7, 8, and you can go for Algebra 1. This is I, 1, 2, 3, and 5. All of these links, you can find them in the description. And there are quizzes.com also. All these will be there. Have you thought about where we can use algebraic expressions and verbal expressions in our life? Let's say I'm listening to someone and he said, I had $37, then I spent on a sandwich, then I still have 32. I don't know the price of the sandwich. So algebraic expressions can help here because the original number is 37 minus x, y minus because he spent, so the money will be less. X is the price of the sandwich equals the rest of the money or the left, which is 32. So 37 minus x equals 32. If you solve it, you are gonna get x equals 5. So these things will help. Let's say in Qatar there are 3 million people living in Qatar between Qataris and expatriates, and let's say that 70% of them are non-Qataris. So how to know the number of them? So 70 over 100 times the original number, which is 3 million. So the calculator will give you 2,100,000 expatriates in this country. So I hope you enjoyed my lessons. So keep on tracking your IXL quizzes and the worksheets, and all of these resources will help you definitely. I hope you enjoyed algebraic expressions and verbal expressions, and thank you for watching.